video will cover what monitoring is and why is it even needed. So imagine you're riding a bike and you're enjoying a very smooth ride, but suddenly the bike stops. So what's the first thing you do? Ideally, you check your fuel meter, right? Like if the fuel is low or not. But what if your bike didn't have a fuel meter? How would you know if your fuel was low or if something else was the issue? Or let's take another case, like the same your bike stop, but in that case, you have seen the meter earlier and you have noticed that the fuel level was dropping. So you could have filled the tank beforehand and you could have avoided the situation, right? Now think of your system or application as a particular bike. Monitoring is like the fuel meter. So it constantly tracks whatever metrics are associated with your system or your application, like the performance metrics or the resource usage metrics like CPU usage or network bandwidth usage, etc. And just like a fuel meter warns you about the low level or the low fuel level, monitoring tools also warns you about the potential issues in your system so that you can fix them before they cause any downtime or they impact your users. If I had to put it simply, so monitoring is the process of tracking the performance and behavior of your system. It involves collecting metrics like CPU usage, the memory consumption, response times, and like not only collecting them but analyzing them to ensure everything runs smoothly. Like to to highlight it, it helps you answer some critical questions like is your system healthy, or are there any performance bottlenecks, or maybe is there some issues which I should fix before the users notice them. So this might not make complete sense of now, given only one example was covered. So let's take example of some real world applications where monitoring is in action, but you might not have even noticed it. So let's talk about the e-commerce platforms like Amazon or Flipkart. So when you shop online, like every click, every search, or every like checkout process, adding to cart, all of those is being tracked. For example, if the Flipkart's payment system slows down, and then what happens is the monitoring tools in the backend, they detect those delays in response times and they trigger corresponding alerts. So how the alert work is, the alerts get me in the form of a communication through different channels, maybe Slack notification or an email notification. So they trigger those alerts, and the engineering teams comes to know about those alerts, and they instantly, if it's a priority thing, they instantly resolve the issue before it affects too many users or leads to the failed orders. Now let's talk about the where you spend most of your time, like binge watching on Netflix. So ever noticed how rarely Netflix buffers? So that's only because they are monitoring bandwidth usage and server response time for every region. If in any particular area they find there are latency spikes, their monitoring system identifies it, and the engineers then reroute the streaming traffic, or they may scale the resources to keep your binge watch uninterrupted. Let's talk about the ride booking apps like Uber or Ola. So whenever you book a cab, the monitoring system, they monitor the ride request, the driver availability, and then maps the services in real time. So if say the location service starts lagging, or too many requests that overwhelm the location service system, so monitoring tools spot it immediately, and this prevents whatever app crashes are there, or ensures that you get your ride on time. The instant fixes are made for that. Now, the most favorite one, the food delivery apps. So ever wondered like how Swiggy or Zomato manages thousands of orders during peak hours? They constantly monitor the order processing times, delivery partner availability, and payment success rates. If they notice some unusual scenario like there are high number of failed payments, or high number of failed orders, so what happens is they trigger an alert. The alert gets triggered, or sorry, they don't trigger an alert. The system triggers an alert, and then alert goes out to fix the issue before it impact too many users. So these examples was just to help you understand that monitoring isn't just about the systems. It's about ensuring that a seamless experience for the users, whether it's ensuring that your favorite TV show streams smoothly or your food order doesn't get stuck. Monitoring works quietly in the background to keep things running smoothly.